The cafe was nearly empty when Emma checked her watch for the third time. Rain tapped against the window, a nervous drummer matching the frantic rhythm of her heart. She sighed, pushing her cold coffee aside. Another no-show, she muttered. Blind dating had become a relentless string of disappointments, men who judged her job, her dreams, or her simple, unbranded clothes. She was this close to giving up on love altogether. Just as she was about to leave, the bell over the door chimed. A man stepped in, shaking rain from his jacket. His clothes were plain a faded hoodie, worn jeans, and sneakers that had clearly seen better days. But there was something warm in his eyes, something genuine that made Emma pause. "Emma," he asked softly, a nervous smile tugging at his lips. "I'm Daniel." She blinked. This was her date? Her friend Lily had set this up, assuring her he was different. He definitely didn't look like the confident, polished professional she was used to meeting, but maybe, just maybe, that was a good thing. "Hi, Daniel," she said, her own smile a polite reflection of his. "You made it." He laughed lightly, a sound that seemed to chase the gloom out of the room. "Yeah, sorry I'm a bit late. The bus broke down halfway here." He gestured to the seat across from her, and he sat down. What followed wasn't the usual small talk, the forced laughter, or the awkward silences. They talked for hours. Daniel listened. He really truly listened to her. He didn't interrupt when she spoke about her biggest dream, opening a small bakery, a tribute to her late mother. He didn't make her feel silly for admitting she sometimes struggled just to make rent. Instead, he shared his own stories, tales of working odd jobs, of how sometimes life pushes you down just to see if you have the strength to stand back up. When the cafe finally closed, Emma realized with a jolt that she didn't want the night to end. Outside, the rain had stopped, leaving the city streets glistening under the streetlights. Daniel walked her home, his jacket soaked through, but he didn't complain once. He made her laugh with bad puns and silly impressions, and for the first time in a long time, she felt a flicker of hope. When they reached her building, he hesitated. "Had a really great time tonight," he said, his voice sincere. "Me too," she replied honestly. "Would it be okay if I saw you again?" Her smile said everything. Over the next few weeks, their bond grew deeper, stronger. Daniel would show up at her bakery, in Progress's small, rented space that needed a lot of love. He helped her paint the walls, fix the wobbly shelves, and taste test every single new recipe she came up with. He never let her pay for dinner, even if it was just street food shared on a park bench under the stars. But Emma couldn't help wondering about him. He never talked much about his past, no social media, no fancy phone. He lived in a small, humble apartment on the outskirts of town. Yet there was something about the way he spoke, a calm confidence, a quiet wisdom that didn't quite fit with his supposed broke lifestyle. One night she finally asked him, "Daniel, who are you really?" He looked at her, his easy smile fading just a little. "Just a guy trying to figure things out." "Aren't we all?" she said softly, deciding not to push him any further. Then came the day everything changed. Emma's landlord suddenly demanded double the rent for her bakery space. He threatened to lease it to someone else if she couldn't pay the new amount within a week. Ouch. She was devastated. That shop was her dream, her late mother's wish, slipping through her fingers like sand. She sat on the cold floor, surrounded by boxes and unpaid bills, tears spilling down her face. When Daniel arrived and saw her like that, he knelt beside her, his expression full of concern. "What happened?" She told him everything, her voice breaking with every word. Daniel took her hand gently. "Don't give up, Emma. Dreams like yours are worth fighting for." She shook her head, feeling utterly defeated. "You don't understand, Daniel. I can't fight money. I just don't have it." He hesitated for a long moment, then stood up. "Meet me here tomorrow. Don't lose hope, okay?" And then he was gone. The next morning, Emma went to the bakery, expecting nothing but more heartbreak. But when she arrived, there were workers outside, painters, electricians, decorators, all bustling with activity. The landlord was there too, smiling sheepishly. "Everything's been paid for," he said. "A full year's rent? You're all set." "What?" Emma gasped. Who did this?" The landlord handed her an envelope. Inside was a simple note. "Every dream needs a chance to rise. D." Her heart pounded in her chest. She rushed out searching for Daniel, but he wasn't answering his phone. She even went to his apartment, only to find it empty. The building manager told her he'd moved out that morning. Days turned into a week. She was still reeling, confused. Until one evening, while kneading dough, she turned on the TV. The news headline froze her in her tracks. Hidden billionaire CEO revealed, Daniel Harrington, founder of Harrington Enterprises, returns after 2-year disguise study. Emma stared at the screen. There he was, Daniel. But he was clean-shaven, dressed in a perfectly tailored suit, standing confidently before a sea of reporters. My time away taught me what truly matters, he said to the cameras. Kindness, and the courage to dream, even when life tells you not to. Tears filled her eyes. The man she'd loved, the man who de-painted walls and shared cheap sandwiches with her, had been a millionaire CEO all along. Weeks later, the bell over her bakery door rang. She looked up from the counter, and there he was, Daniel, holding a bouquet of daisies. His smile, the same warm, nervous smile from their first date. You're late, she teased, wiping flour from her hands onto her apron. I had to finish something first, he said softly, setting down the flowers. I wanted to make sure the woman I love had her dream before I told her who I was. Emma's eyes glistened. You didn't have to do that. I did, he replied, his voice earnest, because I wanted you to love me. Not what I have. She stepped forward and hugged him tightly, burying her face in his chest. I fell for the man who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. That's all I ever needed. Daniel smiled, pulling back just enough to look at her. Then I guess I did something right. That day, the bakery's grand opening sign went up. Crowds came, laughter filled the air, and in the corner of the shop, Daniel and Emma stood side by side, flour on their hands and love in their eyes. They weren't a CEO and a baker anymore. They were just two people who found something real in a world full of pretense. And the lesson in all of this? Sometimes the richest hearts wear the poorest clothes, and true love never needs a bank balance to shine. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that makes you believe in the good in the world. See you next time.